Well, hello, all the friends and the people I know around the world. Today I have very powerful and very triggering and very important message to share with you. And the reason I'm showing up, I haven't been online for a while, especially on personal profile, is because I know personally so many healers, so many creators, so many people who are in this healing industry, holistic industry, that businesses that serve life, people who have beautiful souls. Hi Ida, welcome. Beautiful souls, beautiful gifts that they bring into this life, and there is a big challenge for us on both collective and personal level, and it is connected with this topic that I want to share with you today. So dive in, really open yourself up and allow this message to sink in, because I want to be more radical and more honest and to show it on a different angle, maybe something that usually is not shared enough. This is what I feel. I've been speaking about it in different public events, and especially for empowered women, right? When we want to be on our power, this is an important piece that we need to integrate, and I received amazing feedback. So today I want to share it in a more expansive way, and address it especially to those ones who are healers and creators. And I just use these more general terms that embrace all the beautiful people who serve life, right? And bring beauty and love, share their love and healing on this planet. So what I see from my own work, from my own experience, from knowing so many people who are doing this beautiful work, I see there is still this challenge that we don't appreciate and we don't value ourselves enough, especially when it comes to money and charging money for our services and receiving enough compensation and enough rewards so we can relax and we can just like breathe and trust life, right? And enjoy life ourselves and also thrive. So it really affects us on both levels, right? It affects us on collective level and on a personal level. On the collective level, I am so passionate about it because we really need this shift to happen. We really need to come and I don't know what's happening with my... We really need to shift this consciousness around compensation and money. Привет, Таня. Because otherwise nothing will ever change on this planet. If we want to transform, if we want to save the planet, if we want more love, more life, more abundance, more connection, we need to look at this, right? I see so many beautiful healers and creators really struggling financially and having all these uneasy feelings and easy emotions around money, and like they really under receiving, they really like start to feel even resentful to give because they're depleted and drained inside. And then the response to that inside of them is like feeling ashamed and guilty because it's not okay to feel resentful. Why do I feel this way? Well, and then we create this endless vicious cycle inside of ourselves. And then at the same time, there are those toxic businesses, that actually damaging the planet, that polluting the planet, taking advantage of people's lives and health. And they have no shame or guilt to accumulate the wealth and get money for whatever they do and just take advantage and continue this vicious cycle on another side, right? That is on the collective level. On the personal level, because I personally know so many people, and because I was in the same shoes myself, I want to go deeper and look at it on a deeper level, right? So today is the wealth consciousness for healers and creators. The problem on the individual level that I see, that somebody who is beautiful, who is a beautiful soul, giving, empathetic, right? Passionate about their work, passionate about the planet, passionate about healing and transformation, for people, right, and really showing up 100% and giving, then on the other side they really struggle and they're constantly under receiving. They're constantly and chronically find themselves in a situation that they're struggling, right? They're always having anxiety about paying their bills, right? They're constantly worried about money, how to keep going. So basically, many of them are in survival mode. And, we can kind of like not look at that, but if you ever worry about money, if you ever worry about paying bills, that is a survival mode. So you can't really relax, you can't really like breathe freely, you can't really show up in your full power, and you still have that internal conflict between giving and receiving, right? That's why it's so important to look at this. Now, what happens when the healers undercharge for their services is they don't even attract enough clients. It's like energetic law, because people subconsciously and energetically, they don't want to buy from those who are in scarcity vibration, right? Even if you look at how you feel when you see a beggar on the street, you do have this internal conflict, like you want to give them, at the same time you question why are they begging, and you have certain resistance to give, right? There is this conflict. At the same time, if you see somebody who is abundant and free and open and like confident, you're attracted to that energy. And if you want like some work to be done, you better give it to somebody who is in this abundant energy, right? So you don't give it to somebody who is struggling, insecure, doesn't matter about what, right? Because money brings lots of insecurity. Even if they're greatest healers in the world, people are attracted to more abundance, to more openness, to more like freedom, right? So that's why so many healers keep themselves playing, like keep playing small, keeping themselves in this box, and they don't understand why things don't work. And they don't understand, like I don't even charge much and people don't come to me, right? And that's just going on and on and on. And they find themselves in this scarcity position. Like I remember myself when this wonderful person, a healer, like beautiful soul, came to me and offered like a free session. That's in California. And I was like, well, I know he's a beautiful person, but my body like closed right away. Like no, I don't want that. And I was like, why did I feel this way? Because he was vibrating with this insecurity. Like he didn't have enough. He was in the position of of scarcity, and energetically I didn't want that. I didn't feel like I have any healing in this particular situation, right? And there's nothing to do with his gifts. His gifts may be better than the best, like the biggest millionaire in the world, but in that particular time he was struggling and he was in scarcity, and my body says no. My emotional body says no. And then I come from the place of like being in the same position, because when I was transitioning from mainstream business to healing business, right, to holistic business that I started when I moved to California, at the end I found myself in the same situation, right? At the beginning I was like abundant and free and like generous and excited and did all this work and giving things for free or charged really a little money. But because I had enough and I had a lot, it was good. And people came to me. My very first workshops were like sold out. They were things were going really well. But at the same with time, when I continued to give away, give for free, give for very little, I drained my resources. I depleted my energy, right? And I noticed that I don't feel I receive enough compensation energetically for what I'm giving. And at some point, because I didn't come from the place of scarcity originally, so I didn't know, I didn't have this experience before. So I started like to wonder, like, why do I feel this way? I started to feel resentful. I started to feel kind of defensive. I didn't want to give. My body didn't want to give because I didn't have anything, right? I found myself in that position. So, but then I kept buying these limiting stories of other people, like, oh, I have to help, the other people is in the worst position, or they need help, or they can't afford, or they don't have money, like buying all these stories, and there are so many of them for me, for one person, it was too much. And the same time, I don't want to be healer anymore. I found myself in that situation. So I had to take a break and look deep inside of myself. And then I said, like, enough. I'm not gonna live this way. And so my friends remember me at that moment. It's like my body just closed, and I had to go deep and process this stuff. And then I made decision to do things differently. And I remember I invested in my own growth. I invested in this business coaching academy. The whole year it was like 15K in total with all other courses. And I said, no, I'm gonna learn how to make money out of my sacred feminine business. And I started the program, and I remember the first thing I learned was wealth consciousness. How to love myself financially, how to honor my energy, how to really honor that value that I bring. I know I have such a great value. I know who I am, and I help so many people, right? So I have to love and value myself as well. And I allowed myself to sink really deep inside and find the place of this innate worth that is not connected with any external circumstances, because I was transitioning and I was kind of depleted. So things didn't shift right away, right? I had to do this inner work energetically to shift it. There were no external stimulation. Externally, I still kind of was struggling. So I had to go really deep inside myself and find a place of innate worth that is not connected with external circumstances. It's not connected with any societal conditioning or limitation. I have to really find a place where I own it. No matter what happens in my life, no matter what circumstances, no matter what people say, no matter what people judge, no matter what I believe in the society, I went to the really deep place and I say, I own it. And I had to set up really firm boundaries, radical boundaries with myself. And I said, I will never sell my services, programs lower than this. And I found that place where I wanted to be. I wanted to start, right? And I kept my word to myself. That's the boundary that we can develop with ourselves, right? The second thing I did, the inner work, was opening myself up to receiving this compensation for my work, receiving all the rewards, receiving all the gratitude, right, from people in different forms, and beforehand financially, right? And really feeling it and opening myself up and owning it without shame or guilt, without like thinking, oh, maybe they don't have enough, or maybe this person struggles as well. Like, no, that is not, I have to keep my boundaries. I'm one person, I have a limited amount of energy and time. I have to honor my gifts, and those ones who need, they will come. And the miracle was like, it was not only people who had lots of money came to me when I started to charge significant amount of money for my services, but also people who didn't have enough money came to me because they knew the value and they could find the money to invest in themselves so they could also grow, right? So that was like very, very insightful and powerful for me. Now, at some point I started to work on relationship, right? I started to sell my relationship coaching packages to women, and I remember I started to practice so-called intuitive pricing, right? This is something that you can't completely practice in your main, if it's mainstream business, especially if it's regulated by government or like whatever market. This is something that us healers, transformational workers, creators, we can practice this because it totally makes sense when you start to go deeper with that, right? This is the energy, and this is the law, the universal law of the energy, right? So the way it works, just in a nutshell, is that you find that energetic vibration of compensation you want to receive in return to what you're giving. So you have this cycle of giving and receiving connected, right? So it's not one-sided. So I started to charge, and I remember in the first program I charged like $2,500 for my coaching relationship program, and I've got clients, right? Because it felt right. It felt I didn't undercharge and I didn't overcharge, because when you're undercharging or overcharging, this is when you don't people don't buy from you, because you are not aligned with what feels right inside of yourself, right? So and then I started also to share this knowledge, to share these skills, to share these steps of wealth consciousness principles to women, and they started to apply, and they also started to receive compensation for what they do, right? I'm just checking with something with my camera. So then I developed, this year I developed the Wealth Consciousness Program, that the course, it's just 8 weeks, so it's not, it doesn't take too much time, it just has to be applied in a certain way, and it has to be like, you have to go deep with that and really find that place. It's inner work, right? It's internal energetic work where you just put everything where it belongs, right? And it's work, and it works, absolutely works, and it's easy, it doesn't take too much time. I recently worked, like I had just one session with my spiritual mentor Dwayne, and he was going through the hard time. He actually wrote a review on my business page recently, so it was just one session we had, and because he was right there, he is very wise, he knows all this energetic laws, so he shifted his energy, his focus, his intention, and he actually made, within a week or two, he made like 9K. And he said he never made so much money for such a short period of time. So this is really works, and I want my intention today beforehand to inspire and encourage you. Even from this video you can really benefit and start applying it and find that place inside of yourself. And if you need that support, if you need that guidance, I want to help you. I can help you, so you're welcome to reach out and we can talk first, and within a few weeks you can shift this energy within yourself, right? So thank you so much for those ones who showed up today, and for those ones who are watching on replay, you're welcome to leave some comments, you're welcome to ask questions, and just reach out privately and we can talk if you need help in this area. And then I believe that together we can shift this, and it will shift on the collective level as well at some point, right? And that will be the time of my dreams. Can't wait to see that happening.